and the grand ceremony of the enthronement. But now, because of the situation that we could not have it in Sakya, but we are having here in exile in Puruwala, because Puruwala we have the main monastery. The main monastery is in Puruwala, so that we are going to have the enthronement ceremony in Puruwala, the Sakya settlement, in the main monastery.
To everyone, this is your host and commentator, Tenzin Chöpak speaking, and we are viewing the historic occasion of the enthronement ceremony of the 43rd Sakya Trizin. The procession The site for the cultural program so the public are invited there to view the event live on a giant screen so that we do not have congestion at the main shrine hall. Now, this is an aerial picture of Sakya Droma Potang at Purwala, Sakya settlement. So now we are seeing a group of monks bringing in auspicious banners and flags. So this is the view of Sakya Droma Potang at Purwala. it was completed in 2017, just before the enthronement ceremony of His Holiness the 42nd Sakya Trizin. So there are a group of monks and some lay people with ceremonial dresses adorned with jewelry and headgear to welcome His Holiness Koma Teaching Rinpoche and His Holiness the 42nd and His Eminence Lutin Khenchen Rinpoche. So this is an aerial picture from a drone. And this picture is spectacularly taken by our camera and IT team from the site, and we are seeing the lush green pastures and vegetation of Purwala. And the distance from the Sakya Droma Podang in Purwala to the main shrine hall, the Sakya Trizin Namgyaling Monastery, is about 300 meters. So it's a walking distance, comfortable walking distance. Now we are back at the main gate of Sakya Trizin Namgyaling Monastery. This monastery was inaugurated in 1980, and thereafter His Holiness Koma Teaching Rinpoche gave a Lamri teaching at this monastery. It is the main seat of the Sakya tradition of Tibetan Buddhism, and it is located within the Sakya settlement. So in Tibet, where Sakya Lhangchimo, the great Sakya temple, is located, the principality of Sakya has its own government, has its own system of governance. And in exile, when His Holiness Koma Teaching Rinpoche came into exile after 1959, the Sakya settlement was established in Purwala. So within the Sakya settlement, within the Sakya settlement, the Sakya Trizin Namgyaling Monastery was established, and the monastery was completed in 1980. And it started as a monastery, and then later on it was transformed into a Buddhist learning institute, an institute for higher Buddhist studies. And it has been producing a great many numbers of Buddhist scholars trained in the Sakya school of thought. Now in the background, we can hear the long horns, a big trumpet. What we call in Tibetan, what we call as tungche. So it is signaling that the procession will start soon. Now we are looking at the inside compound, the compound inside Namgyal Monastery. I was told that His Holiness Koma Teaching Rinpoche, His Holiness the 42nd Sakya Trizin, and His Eminence Living Khinchen Rinpoche are already in the shrine hall, the main shrine hall, and now we are waiting for the procession of the would-be enthroned His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin to arrive. So the procession is for the for His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin. in 2017, when His Holiness the 42nd Sakya Trizin from Droma Potang to the main temple for the enthronement, the procession was very elaborate, and it was welcomed by hundreds and hundreds of people lined up on the street with flower garlands and flower petals. But this year we have made this procession much simpler due to the COVID restrictions. And now we are looking at the Sakya Droma Potang, where His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin, the would-be enthroned Sakya Trizin, has just exited from the palace, and the procession is now on its way to the main temple. So the white umbrella that you are looking at the end of the procession, around the tail of the procession, is where His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin is, where he is. So it seems like a long snaking procession. So now it has started to move. It's moving out from the main gate of Sakya Droma Potang, and we are now zooming in to towards the white umbrella where His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin Gyana Vajra Rinpoche is. So he is taking slow steps. And thanks to modern technology that we are able to be connected with this very historic occasion from a very remote village in Himachal Pradesh, from across the world. So we can see a group of traditional Tibetan dancers in the middle of the procession, and these traditional dances are considered auspicious at these special occasions. And we are also looking at a line of high-ranking Rinpoches, His Eminences, leading the procession with incense in their hands. So this is the main gate of the Sakya Trizin Namgyalik Monastery, the main seat of Sakya at Purwala. So it's a short walking distance from Sakya Droma Potang to this monastery, to this temple. So the procession won't take longer than 5 to 10 minutes to arrive here. It is early spring in Purwala, at the Sakya settlement. So it's a beautiful spring morning with blue skies, clear blue skies, indicating the auspiciousness of the occasion. And we have the general public participating the event from the Purwala Settlements football ground, where the organizing committee has organized giant screens to view the whole event. These men in orange vests are all volunteers to help us organize this grand event. And it has been a massive enterprise to organize this. So these men in orange vests and the ladies in white jackets has been indispensable in successfully organizing this historic event. We are looking at the inside compound, the compound inside Sakya Trizin Enthronement, and it has been elaborately decorated with victory banners, flags, and flowers, and we can see the eight auspicious symbols being drawn with flower petals on the path. So it has been years of work for the organizing committee and the volunteers to organize this grand event. Now we can see the procession slowly proceeding towards the main temple, and we can see the symbols, drums, victory banners, the photographers. And these monks leading the procession with their ritual musics and victory banners are from the Sakya Trizin Monastery and Sakya Center, which is the main seat of His Holiness Homage. Now the procession is gradually making its way and entering the main gate of the temple, and you can see these white-haired opera dancers. These are the Tashishopa groups, and Tashishopa was first introduced during the time of the 5th Dalai Lama. And now you are seeing the Kongar the drum dance, These monks are from the Konkan monastery, and the Konkan Shwete drum dance is a very unique one, which is invented by Dzongpa Konkan Namgyal in the 15th century. And the movements of the dance is according to Vajra Panjara Tantra. And it is traditionally performed on the 15th day of the first month of a Tibetan Lunar New Year. And this is Tashi Shopa, the auspicious opera dance. And it is followed by the Konkan drum dance. Now the procession and His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin has already entered within the monastic compounds, and there we can see His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin Gyana Vajra Rinpoche under the white umbrella, and Rinpoche is led by Khenpos, Rinpoches, His Eminences, Dongses of both the Podangs, and various dignitaries. There we can see the first glimpses of His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin, Gyana Rinpoche, and he has now entered the gate. This is Konkan Cham dance, the drum dance. So these monks from the Konkan monastery, they have been performing this since 15th century. So, and here we are looking at the traditional ceremonial dance from the local Tibetans from Sakya settlement in Purwala. And these are considered auspicious dances with all auspicious wordings. And here we are looking at a group of Khenpos with burning incense in their hands, leading the procession. We can see the Khenpos and the lamas of different monasteries, and we can also see the representatives of other traditions and the two members of Sakya's Tibetan parliament, and we can see the 27th Chögyal Trijin Rinpoche, Jitsu monks, Tazi Khen Rinpoche, Dodin Khen Rinpoche, Zongsai Khenze Rinpoche, and Dongses. So we are also looking at Avikita Rinpoche of Phuntsok Photong, who is next in line for the Sakya throne, and there is his dad, his father, and also Ani Vajra Rinpoche from Sakya Droma of Phuntsok Photong. Now, His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin is making his way slowly into the temple complex. As His Holiness Kongwan Teaching Rinpoche mentioned in the documentary that we viewed earlier, Sakya was established in 1073 by Phuntsok Gyalpo. And the Sakya throne has always been held by Khon lineages, except Hari Lotsawa, who was the teacher of Sachin Phunganyinpo. And now His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin has entered the monastic compound. You can see the Rinpoches from many different traditions welcoming His Holiness, making their way gradually into the main shrine hall. There we can see His Eminence Asanga Rinpoche, Avikita Rinpoche, and now His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin is gradually making his way into the main shrine hall. And inside the shrine hall, he will be making Mandala Offerings to His Holiness Kongwan Teaching Rinpoche, 42nd Sakya Trizin, His Eminence Ludin Khenchen Rinpoche. Now His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin has entered the main shrine hall. Flower petals are being showered from the temple top. There we can see His Holiness Sakya Trizin the 43rd making prostration to the Lord Buddha, and His Holiness Kongwan Teaching Rinpoche, his root guru. and Rinpoche is wearing ceremonial robes with the traditional earring. And now he has made his way to offer scarf and blessing from the statue of the Lord Buddha. So it was in 7th century that Buddhism first came to Tibet with the Tibetan Emperor Songtsen Gampo promulgating that the Buddhism will be the state religion, and but the religion, the new religion was not able to take its foothold until 8th century. But in 8th century, Emperor Trizin Enthronement was able to invite Abbot Shantarakshitra and Padmasambhava to Tibet, and thereafter the Buddhism was firmly established. Now here we see His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin making Mandala offering to his root guru, His Holiness Homage Teaching Rinpoche. Taking blessing from his root guru. Rinpoche is now proceeding towards His Holiness the 42nd Sakya Trizin, also one of his root guru. Although His Holiness Kongman Chinchin and His Holiness Sakya Trizin the 42nd are his father and brother, but Rinpoche views them as their root gurus and treats them as accordingly as a root guru, not as his father or brother at any time. Now this is the seal, the Sakya seal that His Holiness 42nd Sakya Trizin is handing over to 43rd, and this is very historic. So this is the Sakya seal that Rinpoche, the 42nd Sakya Trizin is handing over to 43rd, and this marks the handover of the Sakya throne. So it is a very historic moment that we are looking at. And now His Holiness is making the Mandala offering to His Eminence Luding Khenchen Rinpoche. one of his main root gurus. And this completes the Mandala offering of the three root gurus. And now Rinpoche will take the seat of the 43rd Sakya Trizin, the throne of the 43rd Sakya Trizin. There he is. He's ascending the throne. So there we have the 43rd Sakya Trizin, Gyanavajra Rinpoche, the head of the Sakya order of Tibetan Buddhism, taking the throne. Now this will be followed by the long life offering ceremony. So a great number of monks, Rinpoches, Khenpos, Lamas has been performing long life, White Tara long life rituals for the last 3 days in preparation for this long life offering to His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin. So the hundreds of monks who are gathered here are all have all completed the White Tara retreat, which takes more than a month. This is the prayer to pay homage to the Buddha. Now we are looking at His Eminence Tazi Khenren, which is the head of the current head of the Ngor subsect of Tibetan Buddhism, and then the one sitting next to him is 27th Chökyi Trijin Rinpoche, the joint head of the Tsarpa subsect of Tibetan Buddhism, Sakya tradition of Tibetan Buddhism, and the thrones of His Holiness are elaborately decorated with flower garlands. And now we are looking at His Eminence Luding Khen Rinpoche and Dzongsa Khyentse Rinpoche, And then we have a high-ranking Rinpoche from Kagyu tradition. Now we are looking at a group of Khenpos. The first one with the mouse is Khenpo Jordan from IBA, then Khenpo Jayan Tenzin from Mongod, and then we have the Khenpo from Sakya Center, Khenpo Ngawang Gyaltsen, and we are now looking at Avikitra Vajra, who is next in line for the Sakya throne. He's from Ponzo Podang, and then beside him is Asanga Vajra Rinpoche from Ponzo Podang as well. Avikitra Vajra Rinpoche resides at Dzongsa Monastery, and he has completed his studies there. And on the left side of the gathering, if on the front row, we see we've just seen a group of reincarnated tulkus. And on the left or right hand side are the Khenpos. So on the left hand side, these are the chukus on the reincarnated chukus on the front line. And now we are looking at a group of dignitaries. The first seated is Lobsang Jinpa, who is the Secretary of Gandhi Podang, the Office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and the second one is Chime Tsiang, who is the representative of Central Administration, Tibetan Administration in Dharamsala, and the one sitting next to her uh, is dignitary as a dignitary from Sikkim government. Now we are looking at the elder Dongses of Punto Podang, and the first sitting is the father of Asanga Vajra Rinpoche, and the next is the father of Avikitra Vajra Rinpoche. And we are now looking at Dongse Akasha, son of His Holiness the 42nd Sakya Trizin, and next to him is Dongse Siddharth Vajra who is the son of the 43rd Sakya Trizin. So here we have the Jizumas. The first one is Jizuma Ngochime Pelter, and the next two is Jizuma Tsejin Lamo, and the next to her is the little Jizuma of His Holiness the 42nd Sakya Trizin, and next is Gerim Chemo and Damo Kalden Dunki. So here we are looking at Mandela, and next to her is the sister of Luding Shabdung Rinpoche. Now we are looking at the dangmos of the two podangs. On the far left is the Dhammo Sonam Palki, the wife of His Holiness the 43rd, and the middle one is Dhammo Hanzela, mother of Avikitra Vajrarinpoche, and the one in maroon top is the mother of Asanga Vajrarinpoche. So right now the Sangha is reciting White Tara mantra, and there we are looking at Jijum Chimeluding, elder sister of His Holiness Koma Teaching Rinpoche. So it is just announced that the Tensum offering, the body, speech, and mind offerings will start shortly, and it is advised that all those who are making offerings, representatives of different organizations and centers, are requested to queue up, and the offering will begin with a Mandala offering by the representative of Gandhi Potang, the office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Now we are getting an aerial view from the site where this grand historic event is taking place. So Avikita Rinpoche and Asanga Rinpoche, they are cousins from the Punso Palace. They were both born in the United States, but have lived in India from very early childhood to study rituals and Buddhist philosophy, and they have now both graduated from respective institutes of learning. Now this is the public viewing site. So the general public are invited to this football ground where they have organized giant screens to view live streams. So in the front row we have the dignitaries from Dharamshala, the seat of Tibetan government in exile, the Central Tibetan Administration, and now we are getting beautiful visuals from the drone overlooking the Urwala Buddhist Institute's complex. Sakya Rinpoche, the 27th Sakya Trizin Rinpoche, and next to him is Luding Shakung Rinpoche. And Sakya Rinpoche is the current throne holder of the Ngor subsect of Sakya tradition, and 27th Sakya Trizin is the joint throne holder of the Tsarpa subsect of Sakya tradition. And both these Rinpoches come from Mustang, the Himalayan region in Nepal. And people in Mustang are of Tibetan origin, and they speak Tibetan language and write Tibetan language. Now, this is the tea offering prayer. So ceremonial tea and rice is being offered, and this is the tea offering prayer. an aerial footage of Sakya Trizin. And this is the prayer for the rice offering. And the lady in green is Kunchok Chodun, a member of Tibetan Parliament, and she is a cousin of the 43rd Sakya Trizin. Now, this is the proctor, the disciplinarian, reading the list of sponsors and their request for prayers. And here's the disciplinarian of the Sakya Magun to the Namgyalik Monastery. And as the host of this event is the organizing committee of the enthronement ceremony of the 43rd Sakya Trizin. So the request is from the organizing committee. So the organizing committee is requesting the gathering, the holy gathering, to pray for the long life of our root gurus, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, His Holiness Koma Teaching Rinpoche, His Holiness 42nd Sakya Trizin, His Eminence Ridin Khenchen Rinpoche, and other, all the holders of Dharma of all the different traditions of Buddhism, and they are also making the request for the Sangha to pray for the successful reign of the 43rd Sakya Trizin, Now, His Eminence Ridin Khenchen Rinpoche is prostrating in front of Homage Teaching Rinpoche, and Rinpoche is the son of Jitsu Kusho, Jitu Chime Luding, who is the elder sister of His Holiness Goma Chichen Rinpoche, and his father is Se Pusho, younger brother of His Eminence Luding Ken Rinpoche. Rinpoche has undergone ritual studies from more monastery in India, and thereafter he completed his Buddhist philosophical studies at Sakya College. And in 2000, Luding Khyentse Rinpoche was enthroned as the abbot of, or the head of the Ngor tradition of Tibetan Buddhism. Now, Rinpoche is holding the mandala, which represents the universe, and he is helped and flanked by two representatives of Sakya tradition to the Tibetan parliament. So one on right is Khenpo Katak Ngodup Sonam, and the left is Loben Tuten Gyaltsen. Khenpo Katak Ngodup Sonam, the one on the right with spectacles, is from Dzongsa Monastery, and the one on the left, Loben Tuten Gyaltsen, is from Sakya Tuten Namgyalin Monastery. Now, Luding Khyentse Rinpoche has started his Mandala Offering. So he will make an elaborate commentary on the commentary of the universe, and then make the offering to the 43rd Sakya Trizin Enthronement. So the tradition of Mandala offering is practiced throughout Tibetan Buddhism. It's part of the Vajrayana tradition, which represents a symbolic offering of the entire universe, along with one's body, speech, and mind. So this so this prototype mandala, the prototype universe that Rinpoche is holding, so the process of building the mandala and the action that involves with it is believed to purify our bodies. By making such a offering, this prototype universe, we purify our bodies of any karmic residues or negative karmas. And with the recitation of sound and mantras of the Mandala offering, we purify our speech, and the visualization that involves with this mandala offering, that so that the whole universe is being visualized, and the mandala is visualized as an entire Pure Land universe. So by transforming such an grand offering, we purify our minds. So now, Ludin Rinpoche, while making the description of the mandala, is he's reading he's commenting on His Holiness 43rd Sakya Trinzin's biography, a brief biography. So with the complete activity of building the mandala, recitation of the mantras, and visualization of the entire universe into a Pure Land, we offered our transformed pure body, speech, and mind to our Guru, and request for their long life and continuously turn the wheel of Dharma. Now this, we are looking at Jizimas, Emchemo, Tamo, so from the Drama Palace, members of the Drama Podang Palace. These mandalas are pretty heavy, so it could weigh about up to 5 kgs, and it's pretty heavy to hold for a long period of time. Therefore, Rinpoche is assisted with the two members of the parliament from the Sakya tradition. And now, Ludin Rinpoche is speaking about the teachers that His Holiness the 43rd Gyanavaja Rinpoche has sought, the teachers that from whom Rinpoche has received teachings. So that includes His Holiness Dalai Lama, Kenshin Ape Rinpoche, late Khenpo Mingman Tsering. We are looking at Tamo Kalden Druki, the wife of His Holiness the 42nd Sakya Trizin. The hat that Rinpoche, Luden Khyentse Rinpoche is wearing is the same hat. The design is the same as the one we can see with the images of Sakya Trizin, one of the 5 founding masters of the Sakya tradition. And although Rinpoche is entitled to wear one of those Sakya leading master's hat, like what is called the sashu, but lately Rinpoche has opted to wear a similar hat to Sakya Pendita because he feels that only the throne holders or the Khon lineage are entitled to wear the sashu, and he opted to wear the Sakya Pendita style hat. And this is the chant master of Sakya Center, Ngawantinge, and he is the senior chant master. And behind him is Khenpo Tenzin Sangpo of Kakchute Monastery in Mustang, another graduate of Sakya College. Now Rinpoche is commenting on His Holiness Gyana Rinpoche's activities regarding the propagation of Vajrakilaya rituals across the globe. His Holiness Gyana Rinpoche has been holding Vajrakilaya tours across the globe, and the most recent one was in France, in Paris. Rinpoche has been doing these tours many times across Southeast Asia and in Mongolia. And in last year, he held one in France, Paris, at the request of France Session Association. And at the far right corner, we are looking at the Ama Drogarla, who is one of the pillars at Sakya Droma Podang, and she used to be the nanny of both His Holiness Sakya Trizin the 42nd and the 43rd. And both the Rinpoches fondly call her Ama, mother.
Pongba la sege zowa, mitimba dimba, digba je kambo che la juba la, ngedang gibe kone nye je le dobe tabla, nindengi beba zejin dunga gyudang jeba le chowa zebe zebe chadang
His
yinba,
Eminence is
ngedela
commenting
juba
about
dang, lebar tu
uh,
gulegi duja,
Gyana
jintengi zo
Rinpoche's
sha jedang jeba la, dige gumbe
exceptional
zalde, ngegi lu
compassionate
longje,
nature,
Gewa gyunde, digi tamje,
and
tenpa dan gindungi chedo ngaba yinshi, ngegi sara damje gome, sume kime, kandu so,
now we are
tongkula
looking at
towa
Abhaya
kangdeba lonje ge
Vajra
choshi tabe
Rinpoche
la tang,
uh,
chado babe lonje ge ngobo chinye ji chiya,
from
kuja
Punjab
che la
Palace.
tang. Ye manja so
Is
gyudun
the
ye
younger
shambe,
brother of
lonje
Avikidra
ge
Vajra
tongwe
Rinpoche.
duja soso kangla kangzam ji jimba
And
zowa se.
Rinpoche, Abhaya Vajra
So
Rinpoche is
kando
fully
tata
ordained,
taze, teta gomba chube se, gewa
and he
laba
will
chelam
be
tenpa dan simjengi
the
che, kona nguwa zeba ngase,
45th Sakya
gyune
Trizin
ge gaten kota mebe kyangba nam,
in
che dan
6
galden lotu
years
mitsenpa
time.
nazo che kyang, nge dan gyube shako tab, dumane
And
tebe
there
dobe
we
taba
have
nindengi zeji,
Rodin Khenchen
gewa ge
Rinpoche.
gyu, digbe gyun chebe do gyurwa sine, negap su
Rinpoche
kagyen
is
ba tang,
the
kagyen dan cheba la
uh,
soba zeja, Tingi la babara
oldest
tebe su, shene
living
ge, cheje ngawa se.
master
Sansum ge zeten
of
chelom
Sakya
zane,
tradition among the
sachume jimbo de
Sakyas.
yonzo zoba, kendo tena chiwa sheja.
And
Di zam
there we
je
have
she, rangi kuro
Avikitra
manyongo la
Vajra Rinpoche
chame
and
ge
Asanga
de,
Vajra
tenpo
Rinpoche.
kwe ge sachimbo de, chaba tembe che. Chiyam di zamo, she sheba de, dona gombo kandang toba nyamba shige mado, soye paba dada bu kabe, tarduba nga yanyun dengi cha chamo zamyang zoba minu ba de o. Nibai pardo gewa menda ge namba shaba ne, te dabe pezum soba nga
Now
dangi bebe, nizhen semjen tamje ge lu longje tesum,
the commentary
wo
until
sabe
now
gewa tamje, gewa
concludes
cheba le chungwe,
a
namba
brief
menda gewa,
biography of
menda la jeba, neje lada mi, panjo
His
pezum soba,
Holiness the
tamje,
43rd Sakya
kendo
Trizin
chedo da mi, panjo
His
pezum soba,
Holiness the
tamje,
43rd Sakya
kendo
Trizin
chedo
Nurboy Rimboje, Zumoy Rimboje, Limboy Rimboje, Lamboy Rimboje, Tashu Rimboje, Mabi Rimboje, Dere Jemboye, Bumbo
So the two parliamentarians holding the mandala and the within Kieran, which making the offering represents the spiritual and temporal aspects of the Sakya tradition. So it represents the whole of Sakyabas making the Mandala offering and requesting His Holiness Gyana Vajra Rinpoche to live long and continuously turn the wheel of Dharma. And this part of Mandala offering is very unique to Sakya tradition because it is composed by Donggun Chokye Pakwa, the fifth among the five founding masters. And Donggun Chokye Pakwa was the imperial preceptor to the Mongol Emperor Kublai Khan. So So, as I said earlier, that with this Mandala offering, we are offering our purified body, speech, and mind. And with this, we request the Guru to live long and continuously turn the wheel of Dharma. We are drawing close to the main Mandala offering. Now we can see the little Dungse Siddhant making his way out. He is the youngest son, child of 43rd Sakya Trizin Rinpoche. So now the mandala is being handed offered to the 43rd Sakya Trizin Rinpoche. You need considerable strength to hold that mandala. So Rinpoche did that pretty easily without much effort. So now this concludes the main Mandala offering by his led by His Eminence Ludin Khen Rinpoche. And next we will have the line procession of Mandala offerings. The first one we are seeing is the representative of Gandhi Potang, the office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And the lady next is Chimye Tsayang, the Secretary of Department of Religion, Central Tibetan Administration, representing the Kashak, the cabinet of the Tibetan administration. And the next is the representative of the Tibetan Parliament in exile. And this is the Mr. Pema Jungni, the former Speaker of the Tibetan Parliament. Next is Acharya Ishipinzo, the former Deputy Speaker of the Tibetan Parliament. And this is Mr. Kama Ishe, a former Finance Minister of the Tibetan administration. And we now have Jizu Kusho, the elder sister of His Holiness, one of the root gurus of excuse me, that's not Jizu Kusho. So that now we have other dignitaries from Sikkim, the Tibetan Parliament, and other various representative from other traditions. So now we have Akasha Vajrarinpoche, the elder son of the 42nd Sakya Trizin Rinpoche, offering the mandala. And that was Hongdu Rinpoche from Digunka tradition, making the mandala offering. And we have other dignitaries from various organizations and monasteries. making their way to make the Mandala Offering. Now we see both Avikitra Vajrarambuche and Asanga Vajrarambuche making their way to offer mandalas to the newly enthroned Sakya Tenzin. And there is Abhaya Vajrarambuche making prostrations. So this is Ani Vajrarambuche, this elder son of Dachin Rinpoche, His Holiness Dachin Rinpoche, making the Mandala Offering. And Avikita Vajra was Rinpoche was born through Zaya Rinpoche and Damo Hanse in Seattle. And Rinpoche had his formal ritual studies at there we see Zaya Rinpoche just made his offering, and then we now have Avikita Vajra Rinpoche making offering of a statue, and Rinpoche, Gyana Rinpoche had a good look at it. And so the statue is offered by Abhaya Vajra Rinpoche. And then we have wheel, Dharma wheel offered by Asanga Vajra Rinpoche. So this represents the body, speech, mind, and quality and the activity of the Buddhas. So now we are looking at Her Eminence Jitun Kushol Jitun Chimeloding, elder sister of Homage Rinpoche. And she is the aunt of the present Sakya Trizin, the 43rd. And she is also one of his root gurus. And Jitsu Kusho lives in Seattle, in Vancouver, in Canada, and Gyana Rinpoche is very fond of his aunt, Jitsu Kushola. And he respects her immensely, also as his root guru, one of his root guru. And there we see the mother of Asanga Rinpoche, Tamo Chimela. And this is Gyana Vajra Rinpoche's son, Siddharth Vajra Rinpoche. So he is the elder son. And this is the younger son, Siddhant Vajra Rinpoche. So these, provided that they complete their education and all the other requirements, these little dunces are all eligible for the Sakya throne. In the coming years and decades. And that's the Jituma Tsijinhamo, Gyana Vajra Rinpoche's eldest daughter. So these are representatives of different traditions of Tibetan Buddhism, representatives of different monasteries.
Shaje jani je srije bomba jime düze jögenge kanva nyamjaje deno dana rimbo je genje gemba shabdo je gedonji Taguru Gundu Zagye Lama Yidama Sanje Janze Tenzu Nala Zanba Ngwezu Ando Jemba Le Tuye Gwe Zoba Denamje Lame Guze Denje Tinle
So it is customary to for the different traditions to make offerings at a Sakya enthronement ceremony. So In Tibet, the representatives of the Tibetan government, and representatives of His Holiness Dalai Lamas would attend the enthronement ceremony along with the heads or the representatives of other different traditions. So at the moment we are looking at Lodin Khyentse Rinpoche making his personal offering to His Eminence, His Holiness Gyanavaja Rinpoche, and this is His Eminence Shabdrung, Lodin Shabdrung Rinpoche. And this is His Eminence Dzongsa Khyentse Rinpoche making long life offering to His Holiness the 43rd, and Rinpoche offered a special amulet. We cannot speculate what's in that amulet. Must be something precious and an antique. And His Eminence Dzongsa Khyentse Rinpoche is also one of the root gurus of His Holiness the 43rd. Rinpoche has received many teachings from His Eminence Dzongsa Khyentse Rinpoche. And now His Eminence Dzongsa Khyentse Rinpoche is making his Mandala Offering. Rinpoche is the current head of the Morpa subsect of Sakya tradition. And this appears to be Sumang Kawang Rinpoche from Kagyu tradition, with his mask on. It is I'm not definitive. His Holiness Gyanavaja Rinpoche has many close friends among the leading new generation of teachers from other traditions, and Sumang Kawang Rinpoche is one of them. Rinpoche, His Holiness Gyana Rinpoche believes in the non-sectarian movement, and he believes that all the Buddhist traditions should work together as Buddhist brothers and sisters and work tirelessly for the longevity of the Buddha Dharma on this planet. So Rinpoche maintains a very close relationships with many the masters of many other different traditions. So when we see the Mandala offerings along with a statue and a scriptural text and a stupa, these three represents body, speech, and mind. So when you offer a statue, it represents the body. When you offer a text, it represents the speech. And when you offer the statue, it represents the stupa, it represents the mind, the purified mind, which you offer to the Guru. And this is the 27th Sakya Trizin Enthronement, who is the joint head of the Tarpa subsect of Sakya tradition. The Mandala offering of from different monasteries, representative of different organizations is still continuing. So this is the Kongsa Shabdung Rinpoche's teacher. The long line of offerings is still continuing. People have been queuing to make this offering for hours. And this is Lo Shabdung Rinpoche from Mustang. So you can see the sacks of wheat, salt, tea, and all these traditional offerings. And we just saw man in white Tibetan traditional dress, and it is considered very auspicious to have a gray hair elderly man with white chuppah to make the offering, so that the Rinpoches also live until his hair becomes gray and live very long. And this is the offering from the Purwala Tibetan settlement, the representatives from this very settlement. And they are also holding the traditional offerings of brocade and wheat, rice, and tea. And these are offerings from our Chinese speaking devotees. So here we have the leader of the Purwala Sakya Tibetan settlement, Tenzi Kungala. Now these are the representatives of the Ngor and Sakya Center and other monasteries and organizations. And in the evening, from this very ground, this Sakya Purwala football ground, we will be viewing the life story of Sakya Pendita Kunga Gyaltsen performed by the Tibetan Institute of Performing Arts. And it will start at 7 o'clock Indian Standard Time. Our Kidra Vajra Rinpoche has come up again to make another offering. He must be representing another organization. And in the current picture frame, we are looking at Stonza Khyentse Rinpoche and Lodin Khyentse Rinpoche. Now Avalokita Rinpoche stood up to make another set of offerings of statue so these 5 objects of offering, the statue, the scriptural text, stupa, and now Rinpoche is making the offering of scriptural texts so that His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin will continuously turn the wheel of Dharma Avalokita Vajra Rinpoche was born in 1993 in Seattle, and Rinpoche started his Buddhist education from the tender age of 4 at Sakya Center, beginning with rituals. So this offering of stupa represents the mind, the mind of clear, luminous nature, which is the union of the true truths and with its compassion continuously uphold the sentient beings. Now this is the offering of vas, which represents the qualities of the Buddha, and with this offering may the 43rd Sakya Trizin continuously help sentient beings with the great qualities of the Buddha. Now this is an offering of Vajra and Bell, and it represents activity of the Buddha. So with this offering, may the 43rd Sakya Trizin continuously perform the activities of the Buddha and graciously uplift sentient beings from the cycle of samsara. This is a very beautiful picture of the very harmonious and Dharma Vajra brother like relationship between the two palaces of the Sakya tradition. Now we have the representative of the Ngor tradition making the offering. Now we are listening to the Sanskrit Mandala Offering by Boyam Kusuma Buddhist organization from Nepal. This is the 37 Mandala Offering in Sanskrit. Bhayam Kusuma Buddhist organization is a Buddhist organization based in Kathmandu, Nepal, and their head is Sridhara Ratna Rinpoche, Rana Rinpoche. Rana Rinpoche is ethnically Nepali, but and he was well trained in the Hindu tradition, and Rana Rinpoche later met many Tibetan lamas, including his root guru Chokye, the late Vajradhara Chokye Trizin Rinpoche, who instructed him to stay in He Vajra retreat, and Rana Rinpoche completed a number of He Vajra retreats for many years. And Bhayam Kusuma organization has branches in many parts of Nepal and also in Europe and in England, in the United Kingdom.
Meru Chaturdviparkendubhushitam Buddha Cheta Tvene Mamarpayami Yataha Sarvasattva Shuddha Chetre Ramantam Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Nirayatayami.
That was a very beautiful, melodious mandala offering by the Bayom Kusuma Buddhist group from Nepal. And it was led by Shri Rana Rinpoche's concert Guruma. Now we are reciting the long life ceremony, long life puja, long life prayer of His Holiness Koma Teaching Rinpoche. And this is the ones who are offering blue scarves to His Holiness 43rd are from Mongolia, people from Mongolia, and they have come all the way from Mongolia to be present at this very important historic occasion. And Rinpoche has very close ties with the people of Mongolia for the last 5-6 years. And now we are looking at the wife concert of Rana Rinpoche making the offering. We just led the beautiful mandala offering in Sanskrit. Now there'll be a long queue of people making their offerings, and they are representing different organizations, monasteries, Dharma centers, and individuals from different parts of the world. So as they slowly make their way to make the offering, the Sangha is reciting the long life prayer, long life prayers of the root gurus. This is the long life prayer of the 43rd Sakya Trizin. And now they are reciting the long life prayer of His Eminence Lutin Khinchen Rinpoche.
Nazo Timige no be ganto joy de niete be yours. Cordengo ya mi siento che de to parame. Se Jesu be mala ya longe jeze de bo. Yo vale dobnie de sete. Beba da yengo je de son joy. Mienbo izu ya da ye yen de ma le jong bene. Da xie sen ba
Due to
jian
COVID
bo chang
protocols,
bie.
the organizing committee has restricted only invited guests to come to attend this ceremony. But still, we have long queues of people representing different organizations and different Dharma centers. Now, here we are seeing Chewan Rinpoche, and Rinpoche is making offering on behalf of Sakya Center. Chewan Rinpoche is one of the senior most lamas at Sakya Center. It's early spring in Purwala, Himachal Pradesh, and but still it seems to be very warm there, and especially with a huge gathering in a shrine hall that will make the body heat of many attendees will make the shrine hall very warm, and during the last enthronement ceremony in 2017, the weather was very cold, and we saw snowfalls on the peaks behind the Sakya Trizin monastery, and that was in March, also in March, and the contrast of the weather during these two enthronement ceremonies is huge. Traditionally, the Sakya Trizins hold the throne for life. So the throne of Sakya Trizin is being held alternatively by the members of the senior members of the two Sakya Podrangs, namely the Dharma Podrang and Punso Podrang. So since Kuncho Gyalpo established the Sakya monastery in 1073, the Sakya throne was continuously held by Khon lineage, except Parilotsawa Rinchen in 11th century. Parilotsawa held the Sakya throne for 8 years, just to fill in Sachen Kungka Nyingbo while he was very young. So Sachen Kungka Nyingbo's mother requested Parilotsawa, who was the teacher of Sachen Kungka Nyingbo, to take the throne for 8 years while Sachen Kungka Nyingbo was undergoing receiving teachings and undergoing his studies. So from then on, the Sakya throne was held by Khon lineages until the Khon lineages they were dispersed into 4 different palaces during the time of Danyi Chenpo Sangbopel in late 13th century. But then 3 of the palaces gradually dissipated, and only 1 palace remained, which was the Tunjur Labrang. And Tunjur Labrang was also was divided into 2 palaces because the 2 elder there were 4 sons, and 2 became monk, and the 2 remain lineage holders. And the lineage holders, their families were later became the Sakya Droma Podang and Punso Podang. And His Holiness, the 41st Sakya Trizin, is on now the Koma Teaching Rinpoche, was first designated as the 41st Sakya throne holder at the age of 5 or 6 in 1951 by His Holiness Dalai Lama. And later, in 1958, while there was political upheaval in Tibet with the looming occupation of the country, His Holiness, the 41st formal enthronement was held in a haste in 1958. So His Holiness 41st Sakya Trizin then came into exile in 1959, and from 1958, from after his formal enthronement until 2017, Rinpoche reigned the Sakya throne as the longest serving Sakya Trizin for nearly 6 decades. And in 2014, His Holiness Koma Teaching Rinpoche and Dajin Rinpoche, Jigda Dajin Rinpoche, agreed to introduce a new system for the succession of the Sakya throne. So it was mutually agreed and signed by the two palaces in May 2014, and it was endorsed and welcomed by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. And the new system will allow qualified Dongsis from both the Podangs to take the Sakya throne for 3 years respectively. And the first among those was His Holiness the 42nd Sakya Trizin Ratnavajra Rinpoche. And now we are viewing the enthronement ceremony of the 43rd Sakya Trizin Gyanavajra Rinpoche. And this will be followed by Dongses from Punso Palace. Excuse me. Long queue of representatives of different monasteries and organizations is still going on, and I expect it to go on for quite some time. In the meantime, the assembly is reciting a long live prayer of His Holiness Koma Teaching Rinpoche. And if you're just joining us, you're looking at the live pictures from Sakya Trizin Monastery, where His Holiness the 43rd Sakya Trizin Rinpoche is being enthroned. So now we are looking at drone footage of the very monastery, Sakya Trizin Monastery, and it was inaugurated in 1980, and it started as a monastery where rituals are being taught, and then later on it was transformed into a Buddhist Philosophical Institute. So currently it serves as the Sakya Institute of Higher Buddhist Studies.
Namda tim de se ye sa shi la de sama gom be rin je do ma zi che zi zum da je de ba rin ye gyab ju rin wa lu bo ye de shu su gyab wa ni ba ji.
Now we are receiving beautiful drone footage of Sakya Trizin Monastery, surrounded by lush green pastures of lush green paddy fields, and in the distance left corner we can see the Sakya Doma Potang. Now, this project of broadcasting live feed from this enthronement ceremony is manned by more than 30 competent camera person and IT specialist and our support team on site and off site. And it is an arduous task for the organizing committee to bring seamless live broadcast from a remote village in Himachal Pradesh, India. And so far, the team has been doing a great job connecting hundreds and thousands of Sakyapas and followers of Tibetan Buddhism worldwide to this very historic and special occasion of the enthronement ceremony of the 43rd Sakya Trizin Rinpoche. I welcome all our viewers from across the globe. We have viewers from as far as from South America to Mongolia, from Australia to United States. So I welcome all of you. Purwala Sakya settlement, where the Sakya monastery Tubyanamgeling is situated, is right across the border from Uttarakhand, where the state capital is Dehradun. It is a good 2 hours drive from Dehradun, and it sits in the border region of Himachal Pradesh. And to the left of the settlement, about a few kilometers, like probably 5 kilometers away, the great river of Yamuna is flowing. So now we can see the lush green paddy fields of Purwala from this drone footage. Purwala Sakya Institute had a number of very prominent abbots. Among them was Rinpoche Rinchen, who was a graduate from Dzongsa Institute in Tibet. And Rinpoche Rinchen was one of the most celebrated scholars of his time. Even His Holiness Dalai Lama once praised Rinpoche Rinchen's scholastic qualities, saying that after his passing away, there is lacking of such a quality scholar among the Tibetan Buddhist traditions. And Rinpoche Rinchen was not only a great scholar of the Sakya tradition, but he is well versed and has a wealth of knowledge of all the major traditions of Tibetan Buddhism. And Rinpoche Rinchen was succeeded by Rinpoche Gyatso, Rinpoche Sonam Gyatso, who was also the former abbot of Sakya College, the prestigious Buddhist Philosophical Institute, where both the His Holiness 42nd and 43rd were trained. And Rinpoche Sonam Gyatso is also one of the most learned and prominent living scholars of Sakya tradition these days. Rinpoche Sonam Gyatso established the Tsechen Samdru Ling, Tsechen Punzo Ling, Tsechen Samde Punzo Ling Institute in Mandala, and it is now a premier institute of Sakya nuns, and Rinpoche Sonam Gyatso is also the teacher of Asanga, Dungse Asanga Vajra Rinpoche. So, Sakya Purwala Institute has had a list of prominent Sakya scholars as their abbot. This long line of people making offerings are representatives of different monasteries, centers, and Dharma organizations across the globe. Due to the COVID pandemic and the government restrictions, many of our fellow Sakyapas from across the globe were not able to join the enthronement ceremony in person, but they have sent their offerings and representatives, proxy representatives to this enthronement ceremony. And the gentleman in the Tibetan tradition with the monks is the representative of Sakya Losal Chazong and the Buddhist community, Sakya Buddhist community in Australia.